This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
So bad as a player, but obviously, you know, a filled stadium, you know, a lot of people in the stands makes a huge difference, and it's obviously more exciting to come to the park every night with a full house.
We're number one. Once again, the Rays have the lowest attendance in baseball. A site in downtown Tampa has been identified as a possible spot for a new stadium. Will this help save the franchise, or is it too late? Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Conan. Welcome to ABC7 at 7. We'll have more on the new stadium for the Tampa Bay Rays in a moment, but first, our top 7 stories at 7. And we begin tonight with local ties to the man who allegedly mowed down pedestrians in Manhattan and reaction from the Muslim community here on the Suncoast. Authorities say 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov had a Florida driver's license on him when he was arrested. It is unclear when he moved from Tampa to New Jersey. Just after the deadly attack, Saipov reportedly yelled, "Allahu Akbar, God is great." The Islamic community on the Suncoast is appalled.
People, they don't represent my religion. People who kill innocent people are not living a spiritual way of life.
We'll have more on the terrorist attack later in primetime headlines. A Riverview High School student is facing charges after allegedly making a threat on Snapchat. Investigators say 15-year-old Ronaldo Garcia allegedly posted a photo of an apparent gun with the quote, "School gonna be lit tomorrow." Deputies responded to his home, interviewed him, and determined the weapon was an airsoft gun. Garcia was charged and booked this afternoon and released to the Department of Juvenile Justice. An arrest has been made in Manatee County after a man tried to rob people at gunpoint. 23-year-old Ryan Richardson was arrested on charges of armed robbery and aggravated assault. Deputies were flagged down by 2 people who said someone pointed a gun at them and demanded money, but they were able to get away. Several other similar calls came in. Richardson was seen leaving the area on a bike. During the incidents, Richardson fired his weapon once, but there was no injuries. Manatee County approved Carlos Bruff's controversial Aqua by the Bay project, and now it might be sued. Environmental groups are asking the application be sent back for review based on incorrect information. The lawsuit has not been filed yet, but may be within the week. Environmentalist Andy Melee says one of the primary issues is the denial of due process to the general public.
You know, they have to advertise these hearings like 3 to 5 days in advance. They have to post them. And the posting for this hearing said explicitly there will be no public comment. So a lot of people stayed away.
I don't know how you can legally tell the public that there will be no public input and then all of a sudden have a little powwow and everybody agree that this is now what we're going to do.
The groups initially requested a meeting with the county attorney to discuss the issues. The Suncoast loves its Canadian snowbirds, and Governor Rick Scott is trying to attract more. Scott announced the kickoff of the new Canadian Power Play program, which aims to attract more Canadian visitors by making it more affordable. 26 Florida businesses and tourism partners will be participating in the program. Travel deals will be available for Canadians at loveflorida.ca. The Florida Supreme Court heard arguments today in a case that will likely determine whether Governor Rick Scott will be able to appoint their successors. Justices Barbara Parente, Fred Lewis, and Peggy Quincy will have to leave the court at the same time Scott leaves office because of a mandatory retirement age. The controversy hinges on whether Scott has the authority to appoint their replacements before he leaves office. Scott's final term in office will end at the same time as the 3 retiring justices.
This has been a problem that we've had for decades, and it has been resolved with backroom deals between ingoing and outgoing governors, and our clients just don't believe that that's how it should be resolved. The electorate should know what's at stake.
Mills also says the court could face a crisis if the justices wait until after the appointments are made to deal with the issue. Starting today, all Sarasota County tax collector offices will be issuing the new, more secure Florida driver's license and ID cards. The Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles has redesigned the licenses to include almost double the number of fraud protection measures. Security features include redundant data, ultraviolet ink, and optically variable features. To find out more about Florida's new driver's licenses or IDs, just visit the website address on your screen. Now let's head over to ABC7's chief meteorologist, Bob Harrigan, with the first alert forecast. Bob.
Well, a great drive today. Getting the top down. If you got a convertible out near the water, too, it was perfect out there for boaters. Seas running less than 2 feet. Calm conditions. A little bit on the chilly side to start the morning off with lows down into the mid-50s, but we did warm into the low 80s. A nice sunset tonight, too. A nice orange sky there. No clouds to be found, and that's a direct result of a large area of high pressure. Currently, we have clear skies, 70 degrees. Dew point is at 59. That's coming up a little bit. Earlier this week it was in the 30s, and now in the upper 50s. Winds out of the northwest at 6, and the pressure way up there, 30.08. That continues to rise. There's a weak system to the west and north of us. Not going to be a big player in our weather at all, as high pressure continues to hold on all across the state now. That high pressure will win out, too. Winds are rather light out of the northeast, and as the temperature gets close to the dew point tonight, with maybe some patchy fog forming for wake-up time tomorrow morning, so that will be about the only downside to our weather. Calm conditions along the immediate west coast. The water temperature now is 72. That's taken at the end of the Venice Pier, and 69 now in Arcadia. 72 Mayaca City, 71 now in Northport, 70 reported into Sarasota, 74 now into Venice. Well, the evening planner looks good. You have any plans outdoors? Not a problem. 64 degrees by 11 o'clock. That number has come up about 7 to 8 degrees since earlier this week. And it looks as though we'll see temperatures tonight drop down into the, as I said, upper 50s to low 60s. We'll warm up pretty quickly. By 11 o'clock, we'll be back into the mid-70s here in Sarasota and into the low 80s, it looks like, as we approach the 2 to 3 o'clock hour. And then, again, similar conditions anticipated for the rest of the week. Really, dry air is in place right now, covering all the way across the Gulf of Mexico through, looks like, even into Texas. That dry air means no chance for rain.
Do you know how many people said to me, this is the Florida we came for?
I know. November is just always a very nice month, and it's starting off that way, too.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bob. And still to come, the Tampa Bay Rays consistently have the worst attendance in baseball. Will the team building a new stadium help keep the Rays in Tampa?
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today.
We may be the spring training home to the Orioles, Pirates, and soon the Braves, with a lot of other teams like the Yankees, Phillies, Tigers, Red Sox, and Twins not that far away. But only one Major League Baseball team calls the Tampa Bay area home, and that is the Rays. Adam Cellini reports on the efforts to build the Rays a new stadium and what will likely happen if that fails.
Out of your hand and then went across home plate.
Rays baseball is floundering heading into the 2017 offseason, not so much on the field as in the stands, where no MLB team plays in front of less eyes every night. For the third straight season, the Rays had the lowest home attendance in all of baseball, averaging a little over 15,000 fans per game, or almost exactly half the capacity at Tropicana Field.
It's not so bad as a player, but obviously, you know, a filled stadium, you know, a lot of people in the stands makes a huge difference, and it's obviously more exciting to come to the park every night with a full house.
Mark Guthrie pitched 15 seasons in the bigs, playing for 8 teams, including Tampa Bay back in 2000, when the franchise was just 3 years old and still known as the Devil Rays.
We went through a little bit of a streak, believe it or not, in 2000. We went through a streak which at the time was the winningest month in Rays history, and the crowds did start to show up a little bit.
Still, the Rays don't really follow the adage, if you win it, they will come. According to the Society for American Baseball Research, Tampa Bay averaged nearly 9,500 fewer fans per game than the MLB average from 2008 to 2012, when the team had around 90 wins per season and reached the playoffs 3 times.
No matter how good the team is, you can't blame the fans.
Guthrie blames the Trop, which lacks any amenities to draw fans other than baseball. In fact, this past season, Sports Illustrated ranked Tropicana Field last in food safety.
Going to the Trop and you know, sitting in a sterile environment with bad food and, you know, everything else being so-so, it makes it difficult. It makes it difficult for everybody, including the players.
Team owner Stuart Sternberg wants a new stadium and has 2 willing partners in Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. St. Pete Mayor Rick Kreisman is currently campaigning on the promise to keep the Rays there, pitching a new stadium on its current property among other possible locations. Hillsborough made a big move last week, securing 14 acres near Channelside Drive in Ybor City to be considered as the Rays' new home. But Tampa Bay Mayor Bob Buckhorn is among those wondering where the money will come from.
You know, increased retail, increased residential, increased hotel, increased commercial development that will occur around this, which potentially could help pay for some of this.
The Atlanta Braves made a similar move north last season to be closer to season ticket holders. SunTrust Park cost around $650 million to build, $400 million of which came from Cobb County tax dollars. The details of financing a new Rays stadium have yet to be discussed, and a move north would mean a farther trip for Suncoast fans as well.
We have youth leagues around the area that get reduced tickets, and they're going to drive that extra half hour for the kids to be able to enjoy that experience.
Sean Walter hopes the Rays will decide to stay in Southwest Florida and continue partnering with nonprofits and other Suncoast community groups. A professional team also presents marketing advantages.
It gives us an opportunity to showcase our destination in front of people coming out to watch the games.
So whether the trip to see a baseball game is along I-75 to Tampa or 275 to St. Petersburg, Suncoast Rays fans have made it clear that they're willing to make the trip. But in order to attract more fans to these games, those cities will have to make a serious investment in the club. Otherwise, the franchise might find another city who will. In Bradenton, Adam Cellini, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
We're rounding third and heading for a play at the Trapezoid.
If you have Medicare, I have 3 things you'll want to hear. There's an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana. It includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage, and it may save you money in so many ways. It's all in this book, and it's yours free just for calling. You'll see all the ways the plan might save you money, even on prescription drugs. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,500 on average on their prescription costs. And you get all this coverage with an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. Even if you've looked at Humana before, you need to take another look at this plan. We'll send you the decision guide absolutely free, in a slightly smaller size, of course. Discover the all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan that could cut your costs and cover your prescriptions. Call 1-800-824-8241 or go to humanabigbook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Welcome back. So how important is it to you for our area to have a Major League Baseball team, and will you go to the Rays games if they are played in Ybor City? The Suncoast and the Tampa Bay area have the greatest concentration of teams for spring training than any place else in Florida, and attendance is just great. But the Rays are the only team that calls the region home during the season, and attendance is, well, the worst in baseball. Year after year, we don't know exactly yet how much a new Rays ballpark will cost and how much will be passed along to taxpayers, but at some point we will have to decide if we want Major League Baseball in our area or if we can live without it. And joining us for more is John O'Donohue, who knows all about the region losing their baseball team. He played for the Montreal Expos. State Senator Greg Stubbe, and joining us by Skype is Rock Riley of Sports Talk Florida, who has covered the Rays since day one. And Rock, I'm going to start with you because I understand Hillsborough County Commissioners had a meeting today on this very issue. What happened?
Yeah, they said that they were caught off guard with the announcement that they really weren't told about this site. It's not so much a Hillsborough County approved site. It's one of their commissioners, Ken Hagan. He's been the point man on this. He traveled to Minnesota. He traveled to Atlanta. He came back. He told the Rays, I think the ballpark that you want is what they're doing in Atlanta and what they've done around it. But that being said, Hillsborough County says, man, there's so much to still figure out. How are we going to pay for this? This is, and I will tell you this, I've talked to County Commissioner Ken Hagan, the point man for this. This is the site that the Tampa Bay Rays want. It's near Channelside. It's near Amalie Arena where the Lightning play and they have a lot of concerts. And also it's close to the Ybor City Entertainment District. This is the site that the Rays want. But there's also a St. Pete mayor's race coming up November 7th. You got to wait to see how that's going to play out. That's why the Rays haven't made any official statement regarding this site in Hillsborough County.
Senator, the problem is that Florida residents have kind of gotten a little bit tired of flipping the bill for these stadiums. We're talking about Raymond J. Stadium in Tampa, where the Marlins play in Miami. There have been some movement in the state legislature, which is basically saying we're not going to flip the majority of the bill for these stadiums.
Well, and the challenge has been, and I have a study that was done by our Office of Economic and Demographic Research, and the challenge from a lawmaker's perspective is if you look at the return on investment on these programs, for example, over the 3 years preceding 2015 for the professional sports franchise incentive, we, the taxpayers, invested $48 million, and the state revenues return was 14.2 for a return on investment of 0.3. So every $1 million we invested, we only got $300,000 back. So from a political standpoint and from a legislative standpoint, it's do you want to make that investment when your return on that investment is not going to be positive?
John, let me ask you this. Every year, hordes of people go to these spring training games here in Sarasota and around our region. Why do you think we do so well in terms of attendance and going to these games during the spring, but not so much during the year?
Well, the snowbirds have a lot to do with it. They come down from Baltimore, and I know a little bit about what they did in Baltimore. They really promoted Baltimore, the Orioles did, in Baltimore to get people to come down here for spring training. And it's made a big difference. It really has, because they've been, I think, sold out just about every year, and their attendance is growing every year.
So, I mean, you know, we love baseball down here in Florida. Our kids play it 12 months a year. I certainly know mine did. But do we think differently about Major League Baseball and the interest in going to these games?
You know, I think so. I think we do think a little bit different about it. You know, the stadium that's up in Tampa, in St. Petersburg right now, from a viewpoint of a fan going in, it's a wonderful place to watch a ball game. It's cool. It's covered. You know, it's not the best major league stadium there is, but still people really enjoy watching baseball, and they love it here in Florida. They all watch somebody, and I think that a big problem that I saw was from other ballparks that are around the country. There's no corporate people. There's not enough corporate sponsorship here.
I want to get into that more. We are only at the bottom of the first, so we are just getting warmed up, and we'll have much more in the new ballpark for the Rays right after we check the first alert weather. Stay with us.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled, and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded, so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
Our conversation on the new ballpark for the Tampa Bay Rays continues right after we get a check on the first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Thanks, Alan. Great weather this evening for outdoor activities. Beautiful out there. A lot of clear skies. Sunset was just absolutely stunning. Once again, no clouds really around at the time of sunset. So just a beautiful orange sky that you see right there. And now we're looking for fair skies overnight. Temperatures dropping down into the mid-60s by 11 o'clock tonight. So a little bit warmer each and every night after a very chilly start to this week. It looks like temperatures, cold weather will go away, and then we'll see average temperatures tonight into the low to mid-60s, some upper 50s, well inland like Northport and also into Lakewood Ranch very close to the upper 50s there. Bradenton right around 63. Parrish 59, 65 degrees. Anna Maria, the water temperature now cooling down to 72 degrees. After just about a week and a few days, it was at 84 degrees. So things have really chilled out there. No rainfall around at all along our area. Some showers well to the northwest of us associated with a weak system, but we're anticipating dry conditions throughout the day tomorrow. Once again, currently we have fair skies, 70 on the dew point. It's at 59 degrees. Winds out of the northwest at 6. And the pressure now 30.08, which is high, and that continues to rise at this hour. And the high today was right around average at 81 degrees. This morning's low was cool, though, at 56. We'll be closer to this number tomorrow. And the record low 40. That was set back in 1993. 91, the record set back in 1971. And this month is typically a very dry month, less than a couple of inches usually, and the yearly total now well above average, and will stay that way before the end of the year will still be well above average. And no rainfall to report tomorrow. We're expecting highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. Near the beaches, right around 78 degrees. And we'll have just a few fair weather cumulus clouds late in the afternoon. No anticipated rainfall, as I mentioned. And lows tonight across the state. A little bit cooler in Tallahassee. They get down to 56, but by 10 o'clock, warming back up to 69. We'll be already into the mid-70s by 10 o'clock. As I said, warming just a little bit each and every day. Our high tomorrow should be right around 82 degrees. And I'm not anticipating much change at all as a result of this zonal flow and high pressure continuing to dominate our weather. So a good weekend ahead, too. Looks like we'll see temperatures fairly close to seasonal averages on Saturday and Sunday. Now, there's a slight chance for a shower or two come late Sunday afternoon, but that's at 20%. Not much at all. If we see anything, it would be just a brief shower or two late in the day, and that is very remote at this point. And the winds will be out of the east and northeast anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour, so not a very breezy day, just a simply perfect day tomorrow with temperatures in the low 80s and fairly dry humidity around. And we are anticipating great boating weather, too. Seas will be running less than 2 feet right through the next several days, and a light chop of the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now 72, and the beaches will see a high, as I mentioned, right around 78 degrees. High tide upcoming 11:16. A low tide will be at 6:32. The forecast tonight mostly fair, not as cool, but seasonal. 61 for a low. Tomorrow 82. Back to normal we go. Mostly sunny skies, and that continues on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As I said, the only thing changing about our weather will be the time. On Saturday night, we fall back 1 hour before we go to bed. Al will have the guest and himself will be back here in just a few short minutes. Stick around.
Need a light bulb? Batteries Plus Bulbs has a huge selection of LEDs starting as low as 99 cents.
The one inside the clothes dryer.
Oh, you use the clothes dryer.
Visit batteriesplus.com for a store near you.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
ABC7 is giving you the chance to win a dream vacation for two to Paris. Watch ABC7 Good Morning Suncoast weekdays starting at 6 a.m. for the word of the day. Then register that day's word by midnight at mysuncoast.com. Good luck.
Welcome back. We're talking about whether taxpayers will have to help keep the Rays here or if we let them leave the region. And joining us for more is John O'Donoghue, who knows all about a region losing their baseball team. He played for the Montreal Expos. State Senator Greg Stubbe, and joining us by Skype is Rock Riley of Sports Talk Florida, who has covered the Rays since day one. And Rock, let us be clear, what happens if either Tampa or St. Pete fail to come up with the right place and the right package to build the Rays a new stadium?
Alan, that's a great question, because up until this point, there has been no other city or market that has come forth saying, you know what, we'll build you a stadium. I think the days of public support, heavy with taxes, are done. And no one has come forth. There's been talk, maybe San Antonio. Now, Las Vegas is something to watch out for. They've got an NHL team right now. The Oakland Raiders are going to be moving to Las Vegas. There's always this thing about betting for years, but you can bet anywhere. But I think until another city steps forth and says, we got money, we will build you a stadium, then you have to worry. Right now, not so much. But this thing, Alan, has dragged on for at least a decade. And still, as we sit here right now, how do you pay for this thing? It's a long way to go.
Well, Major League Baseball keeps saying that it's losing patience. And there has been some discussion I've heard about, you know, obviously Montreal lost a team and there is still a fan base there. I have even heard about the Rays possibly moving to whether it's Connecticut or another place in New York. You know, Greg, what does the state do? What do lawmakers do if another city or state comes along and says, we're going to help you, you know, a long way towards building a new stadium?
The challenge is a lot of these projects, like we're talked about, are cities and counties. You know, it's a lot of local governments that have to put up a lot of the cost. We just had the Braves, and we have a new spring training stadium that got put into play in the county. Sarasota County, through their economic incentive dollars, I think put up about $20 million in cooperation with the Braves, and the state doing the $2 million per year through this program that the state has. But unless you have a local government willing to make a large investment, then it's going to be challenging for the state to get too very involved.
But the state used to get more involved, and in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they help the Dolphins redo that stadium down there? But there's been a shift in terms of the train of thought in Tallahassee.
Yeah, and to that point, so last week I did a poll out of my legislative office, and the question I asked, one of the questions I asked was, should NFL stadium owners get taxpayer benefits or tax incentives to build stadiums on government property? And 2,083 people responded, and 92.8% said no. So I think there's kind of been a shift in the thought of people in the state of there's a lot of other needs in our state. Troopers need to be paid more. Teachers need to be paid more. I don't think the state of Florida should be 49th and 50th in mental health funding. So there's a lot of other important needs out there. So when you compare that with putting a sizable amount of state resources on something that doesn't have a positive return on investment, I think the voters are starting to see that's not where they want their money.
John, you, as we kept on saying, that you know firsthand what it's like when the community loses its major league team. What did baseball mean to those folks who were baseball fans in Montreal, and what did it mean when they lost the Expos to Washington?
Well, the Montreal Expos organization, they started out at an old ballpark called Jerry Park, and it was nothing more than a glorified college ballpark. And the people came there, it was a social event. They really didn't know all that much about baseball. So that was a social event for them. They would just watch what was going on, and when some people clapped, they'd clap. But they built a ball club there that was very, very good. But when it started to fall apart, they were selling the players. They were selling the players to other ball clubs. They had great young players, and they would sell them off, and the people got upset.
Is there something about the way a community looks at itself in terms of being a major league franchise, a major league community?
Some of them do. You know, some of them that win, they pound their chest. You know, and the ones that lose, yeah, we got a ball club. But you know, there has to be created somehow more enthusiasm about it. You know, there was a time when Bowie Kuhn was the commissioner. He was talking about retraction. He was talking about making the league smaller. You know, when I played, there were only 16 teams, and now there are 30 teams. But they were talking for a long time that there were several clubs, I think Oakland being one of them, and the Rays to just contract. Right. And go back to 2018.
Rock, there is a dichotomy here of sorts, because as we reported, the Rays are dead last in terms of attendance in Major League Baseball, but from my understanding, the television ratings are just terrific.
Boy, you hit that one on the head. Now, the Rays have always done good on radio and on TV. Fans just don't want to go. It's a societal thing. It's hard to get off your couch. You got HD. You got all the comforts. We're a little bit lazy down here. But I will tell you this, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they sell out every night. Their owner lives here. He gives back to the community. The fans love that. The TV ratings for the World Series on Sunday night beat Sunday night NFL by 36%. That never happens. Do you know the Hall of Fame game, which is really nothing in a preseason game, or the Pro Bowl, which is like flag football? That used to beat the World Series. Not anymore. I don't know if it's the protest, the anthem, thing like that. You got young young stars in Major League Baseball right now. There's been a little bit of an insurgence. So TV ratings are good. But we still got to find ways for fans to come out to the ballpark and see the Rays.
What is it about our area? Is it that, you know, people around here feel it's just as easy and good to watch it on television or listen to it on the radio? Is it the lack of corporate sponsorship? Is it the fact that the team's ownership is not from around here, they're from the New York area?
Well, yeah, you know, there's a combination of things, I think. You know, Florida is really geared to football. Yeah, and I think baseball, being that they have 162 games that are played, you know, people get a little tapped out. You know, the money for food at the ballpark is expensive. You know, the Rays have tried to do everything they possibly could to get more people in there. You know, if you had 4 people in a car, you would have to pay for parking. You know, you could bring in a bottle of water as long as it was not broken, the seal was not broken. You could bring in a sandwich. They tried all kinds of things to get more people to the ballpark. It just seems that there was just an apathy, even in the year they went to the World Series. It's kind of sad.
So, Senator, what do we do in terms of, from a public policy point of view? Obviously, the Rays do have their fans. We love to watch them on TV, and we love to listen to them on the radio. There is something, if you're a baseball fan, that you have pride that you have a team in your area. Do we just, you know, obviously Major League Baseball has said there will come a point that if the Rays don't get the stadium, they're going to have to take some kind of action.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of different factors. I mean, for us in Sarasota, you know, it's a 45-minute to an hour drive to go to a game and 45-minute to hour drive to come back. Sarasota is an older demographic, so they'd rather, like the gentleman said, they'd rather watch on TV than drive an hour and drive an hour back. And so, and where the stadium's located and St. Pete, there's not this large camaraderie that you see like for the Green Bay Packers in Wisconsin, or for a team that has this large fan following. And maybe that's where they're located. Maybe by moving to Tampa, because there's more people there, there'll be more of that camaraderie and team spirit. I don't know. I mean, it's difficult down here because a lot of people don't want to make that commute to watch a game.
You know, Rocco, we only have a few seconds left, but I do want to ask you this, because I have heard before that the majority of viewers on television and radio are from Hillsborough County. I know folks in Pinellas may not like that, but does that kind of make the case that the stadium probably should be there?
I can tell you this, that the Rays, led by owner Stu Sternberg, they've always wanted to move to Hillsborough County. When Joe Madden got the job, and I brought him on my TV show, he had just gotten the job, and he said, "We are going to move to Tampa. We just don't know when." I'm like, "You just got that job. Really? Stu must have told you that?" But nothing is a guarantee. I'm telling you, the NFL rules, right? The Buccaneers only play 8 home games, and they cannot sell out. It's not even close. The Marlins build a new stadium. They've been second to last in attendance because they've been bad. So I really don't know what the answer is. We won't know until they build a new facility. And then usually the first year, win or lose, you're going to get a lot of fans going out. After that, it's a crapshoot.
Okay. We have to take a quick break. We'll be back for final thoughts when we return.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
And our guests join us right now for final thoughts. So, Rock, what happens next? It doesn't seem that the county commission is on the same page. There's been no talk in terms of price tag, and Pinellas County and St. Peter have yet to be heard from.
I got to tell you, this has been a long, drawn-out process. They now have 9 months to get something done with this agreement to purchase the land right here in Hillsborough County. I'm hoping that Stu Sternberg and the Rays are willing to pitch in as much as 50% to get this done. If it doesn't happen, I'm not so sure. And it's one of those things, you won't really miss it until it's gone. So I hope the Rays chip in. And gosh, I've been covering this for so long. I got a lot of gray. It's been a long process.
Thanks a lot, Rock. Senator, what is the current thinking in terms of Tallahassee? I mean, you kind of laid it out there, but when push comes to shove, would the state try to do anything differently to keep this franchise here?
I think the political will at the state level has kind of moved away from putting a lot of money in these type of facilities and these type of projects and relying more on the locals. Okay, Hillsborough County, you want to do it, you're going to have to put up the majority of the money. We can come at maybe $2 million a year through one of these programs, but I think there's not a lot of political will at the state level, especially if you look at our overall budget picture. For the next couple of years, if you look at our revenue estimating conferences, it looks like we're going to have a deficit. So putting extra money into something like this when we have all these other needs in the state, I don't see it happening at the state level.
John, you were famously quoted in Ball 4 in terms of your encouragement of players to get involved with fans and sign autographs. In your opinion, have the Rays done enough to reach out to the community to develop that kind of fan base, even in Sarasota and Manatee County?
I don't, it's kind of split here because the Pirates are up there. They do a lot. The Rays do, I think, their part and maybe a little more than that. In recent years, the players have really gone out into the community and tried to reach the community and have that community respond to them with the kids programs that they have and the charitable things that they're doing. I don't think they can do much more as far as the players are concerned.
Would you like to see the Rays stay here?
Oh, yes, I would. I absolutely would. Don't we all wish that we could have the Cubs and the Cardinals and the Boston Red Sox fans, whether you win or lose, they still show up. Right. We need that here.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. FYI, you can watch past discussions. They're on demand. They're available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. And just a reminder, if you want to stay up to date on the latest local breaking news and see alerts on your iPhone, you will need to download our new news app. Just go to the App Store and search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users, no problem. You'll get the new version automatically. We want to thank all our guests for being here tonight. John O'Donohue paid for the Montreal Expos, State Senator Greg Stubbe, and Rock Riley of Sports Talk Florida. When we return, we'll have a final look at your first alert weather, plus more on the deadly attack in Manhattan, so stay with us.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-307-2040 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you the #1 mistakes retirees are making with their investments today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-307-2040 to have your free information kit rushed to your door. Again, that's 800-307-2040.
If you or a loved one used a proton pump inhibitor, such as Nexium, Prilosec, or Prevacid, and then developed chronic kidney disease, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. A recent report released by the American Medical Association found that the use of proton pump inhibitors was associated with a significant increase in the risk of developing chronic kidney disease. Side effects associated with these medications include acute kidney injury, chronic kidney disease, dialysis treatment, kidney or renal failure, kidney transplant surgery, and even death. If you or a loved one used Nexium, Prilosec, or Prevacid and then developed chronic kidney disease, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-977-4346. Again, that's 1-800-977-4346.
Your primetime headlines are coming up, but right now let's get a look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Alan. I'll tell you, we had a beautiful day today, and you know what's nice? We only have a month to go before the official end of this 2017 hurricane season, which has been active to say the least. It's not the most storms we've seen in a season. It's not over yet. I still think we may get one before it's all said and done. And Rena is the next name up, followed by Sean. Now, as far as the season goes, we've had 16 named storms, 10 hurricanes, and 6 of those major hurricanes, with the biggest one being Irma, which had a big impact on our state as far as that goes. Well, the Vanways webcam showing generally fair skies right now and a beautiful sunset tonight. And it looks as though we'll see clear skies overnight. The evening planner calling for fair skies and 66 degrees by 11 o'clock tonight. And there may be a little bit of fog forming. That would be about it. That's the only downside to our weather temperatures. Although cold lately, it's not going to be as cold tomorrow. The cold goes away. We'll see temperatures in the upper 50s in inland locations like Northport, Arcadia. Wauchula also right around 58 degrees there. Lakewood Ranch at 60, 63 in Braden, Palmetto. You'll be at 63 degrees as well, and Anna Maria at 65. Water temperature starting to drop. It's down into the low 70s, and that means the manatees are starting to come back into some of the canals and inland waterways, so be careful for that as far as boating goes. Boating weather looks to be really nice, too, over the next several days. Live sweep of the radars is showing no rain around here. All is quiet and will stay that way through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The rain chance only at 20% as a weak trough sets up along the east coast of Florida. 70 right now. The dew point comfortable. Winds out of the northwest at 6. The pressure 30.08 inches, and that continues to rise slightly. 81 the high, 1 degree shy of the average of 82. 91 the record, set back in 1971. And today, no rainfall to report in November. Typically a very dry month, the driest month of the season for the most part. And as far as the hourly forecast goes, you can see We'll see upper 70s to low 80s tomorrow with just a few clouds around, and it looks as though we will see temperatures staying at average or slightly above average as we push to Friday and Saturday. Lows tonight will be again into the upper 50s to low 60s. Highs tomorrow will warm in the low 80s across most of the state. Now a little bit cooler along the East Coast because of that easterly wind flow, but that's going to be the case tomorrow. Maybe a few showers along the East Coast too, but no rainfall for us. And then even warmer still to start things off on Friday morning, but still very pleasant here along west central Florida. The wind flow anywhere out of the east, northeast, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. And it looks like very tranquil weather conditions will persist on Friday. For football Friday night, it looks to be just absolutely outstanding. Also, Music on Main. That's right, we have the first Friday of the month, and that's going to be taking place this Friday. We can see Futurecast showing this rain to the northwest of us dying out as that high pressure holds firm over the east coast of Florida. And we'll see some, as I said, a few showers possible on the east coast. Not much going on here at all as a result of that easterly wind and drier air still in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. Well, the satellite and radar imagery does show some snow falling into Wisconsin tonight, also into parts of Minnesota near Minneapolis. Had a few snow showers there earlier. That has since moved on. And then that rain now moving just north of Louisiana, I should say New Orleans, and pushing off to the northeast. Louisiana has had some showers around. Temperatures currently, Boston is 52, 45 in Columbus. Detroit now at 43 degrees, and out west, temperature 69, Salt Lake City and Reno, and 74. You can see 76 now in Dallas, and Los Angeles has cooled down now after a pretty hot start for the World Series. Things are moderating a bit out there, and 67 degrees in Atlanta, 74 in New Orleans. Well, here's the boating forecast. It looks good for the rest of the week and into the weekend. The sea's running less than 2 feet with a light chop out there. Water temperature has cooled down to 72 degrees, and the forecast calling for great weather right through Wednesday of next week. Alan will be back with prime time headlines right after this.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
My name's Greg Simone, president and founder of Care to Try. I'm excited to announce that this year we're hosting our inaugural 5K and 1 mile race. In addition, we are attempting to set a Guinness Book of World Records for the most amount of wheelchairs in a race. This is a call to action and we need your help. We'd like to set an environment where everybody's accepted. So please come out and join us and Wheel Unified. The event will be hosted on November 4th, 2017 at Lakewood Ranch CrossFit. Please go to our website, caretotry.org, where there are details for race sign-up.
Checking primetime headlines, New York City is still reeling after the deadliest terror attack since 9/11. Police say a 29-year-old man from Uzbekistan drove a truck down a pedestrian path in Lower Manhattan, killing 8 people and injuring 12 more. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in New York with more.
This whole other side of that bus is caved in.
Today, many parents are left reliving a nightmare. Their children, on their way home on Halloween, became the target of an act of terror.
There's kids right there.
Authorities now saying this act was planned in advance and believe the suspect, 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov, was inspired by ISIS propaganda online to rent a Home Depot truck and purposefully barrel down a well-traveled bike path for 3/4 of a mile.
We got multiple casualties. This is a mass casualty situation here.
Killing at least 8 and leaving behind a note, handwritten in Arabic, seeming to praise the Islamic State.
He appears to have followed almost exactly to a T the instructions that ISIS has put out in its social media channels.
Investigators say he was interviewed in 2015 by federal counterterrorism agents who were looking into 2 other men potentially involved in terrorism. But Saipov was never the focus of any investigation. According to police, he came here in 2010 from Uzbekistan. He lived in Cincinnati, Ohio, Tampa, Florida, and most recently in Paterson, New Jersey, with his wife and 3 children.
We never feared anything because he had a family too.
Authorities are beefing up security in New York and asking the public to step up and report any questionable activity.
That's a minimum of 17 million extra eyes and ears and gut feelings that can remain vigilant on behalf of all of us.
Authorities say so far there is nothing to suggest that Saipov was part of a terror cell or working on behalf of ISIS, and that right now there was no greater threat here in New York City. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Police in New York and California say they are looking into sex abuse claims against producer Harvey Weinstein and now director James Toback. There are 2 NYPD sexual assault investigations into Weinstein. One of them involves Lucia Evans, who spoke to The New Yorker in a story published last month. The second alleged victim remains unidentified and came forward through the NYPD's rape hotline. More than 60 women have accused Weinstein of harassment or sexual assault. In Beverly Hills, police are investigating allegations against Toback. More than 300 women have contacted the paper accusing Toback of inappropriate conduct. The 72-year-old director denies the allegations. They are calling it one of the most exciting World Series of all times, and tonight is Game 7. We are just minutes away from the start of the 7th and final game of the World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Houston Astros. The series is tied at 3 games. Tickets aren't cheap. The lowest price available for a single ticket was just over $1,000, with the average ticket costing $1,700 a piece. And that's all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohn. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.